Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Young-woo, and my co-workers are Joohee Park and my previous advisor, Tek-Jin here. And I'm going to present my work about a new device called Bendi and my field trial research in a coffee house. So the contents of the presentation will be comprised of the 6 parts. Especially I will talk about my Bendi and also field trial results. The motivation of our study was based on having a remote communication using the vocal, video, and text channels. However, in this study, we aim to focus on the vocal phone conversation rather than video call because it's one of the very natural way of remote conversations. So our research aim was applying the shape-changing features on mobile devices for tactile and visual interactions during phone conversations. So our goal was comprised of 2 parts. First is how to design the devices, and also what are the experiences in a public place. So my approach for the study was applying the research through design approach to investigate the insights and guidance for designing better devices and to reveal the true experiences and needs of the users. Our previous research that I have been presented over past 3 years was about remote tactile and visual interactions. First is called Chick Touch, and second thing was Poke, and third thing was Wiggle Low, presented by Joohee. And all of those things was based on the delivering tactile and visual interactions in a conventional phone calling behaviors, and also had different kind of tactile mediums, and also shape transformability too. Previous studies on remote tactile communication have been studied over like 15 years. Most of them are first focused on imitating the real touches with technologies such as like kissing or tickling or something like that. However, from our previous study, those needs kind of ambiguity and provide certain level of freedom for expressions. And also, some researchers have provided new medium for tactile delivery, such as rollers or jackets or armband. But we thought that this could need a natural and familiar use postures to share touches while maintaining our use of phone calling behaviors. And also, other researchers have applied the vibrotactile motors in the remote tactile communication. However, it is a little bit limited to deliver more soft and natural touches like real skin like. So I plan to apply the shape-changing features on the devices because those can deliver organic movements and also can enable effective and rich ways of communications and deliver messages as living object does. So we aim to apply the shape-changing features on phone conversations. So based on the previous studies, we thought that it is need to design devices while maintaining conventional phone calling behaviors, and also need to find the experiences obtained from the public places, and also implement the device with the organic and soft tactile feelings. So now I'm going to introduce about the device called Bendi. So we kind of explore various kind of shape-changing movements. So based on that, we kind of decided that to make the shape-changing with the upper part and the bottom part of the device to enable tactile and visual phone conversations while users are holding the device on the palm. So this prototype was our initial trial to test the power and the strength and movement that we could find that by using this rubber printed material and also with the shape memory alloys that it can deliver quite powerful tactile and visual expressions to the users. However, as you can see that it is a little bit like a worm-like, and also people a little bit thought about it like a freaky because so to design a product like more like a everyday product, so we should have to thought about different colors and different designs to be enabled in a real life situations. So we thought about how to make Bendi more like accessory. So we thought about applying the honeycomb structures for the movement parts. So this was our third iterations by using the rubber material with the honeycomb structure, and for the input part we used the Trackball It is very compact. However, we found that it is very uncomfortable, and the size was too small. So we enlarged the size into like iPhone 6 size, and also tested with the various kind of sensors and actuators with this size. So we also tested all the batteries and the Bluetooth module and the PCBs that can be integrated into one part, and by producing the PCBs and also dyeing the rubber material with like a black-brown color that can be look like more like accessories. So this shows that a whole integration part in a one small area, and we could finally design this kind of device for our Bendi. Also, with this Bendi, as you can see, it has the upper part and the bottom part, and can deliver 8 different kinds of movements. So while users are holding the device, Bendi enables new tactile and visual interaction through various shape-changing movements. So when the users are wearing the earphone and having an audiophone conversation and holding the device on the palm, they can deliver different kind of shape-changing movements with the center part joystick. So rather than vibrations or ring bells, like they can deliver, like receive a call with a subtle shape-changing movement. And when the users catch the call, they can deliver with the center joystick, like bending up or bending down, tilting left and right with this device. It uses the shape memory alloys, so it has no sound, and it could be well adapted into very private places like a coffee house. Also, we put in a small like a pressure sensor below the joystick, so users can deliver like a shaking movement too. Also, users can change the mode to the upper part to deliver faster and tactile feelings on the index finger. So I think this could be a new way of communication in the near future by using connecting with the current mobile phones and with this device. So I'm going to talk about the inner structure of the basic movement part, that it uses the 6 cold type shape memory alloys, and all those alloys are connected into each Arduino pins. And one of the key part that is that I made a 1.4 millimeter depth holes, and also inputted the spring in the middle side to enable more bending movement, and also the compensate for the recovery power. And we developed a two-way communication technique system with Bluetooth and the laptop server to be used in the Coffeehouse for the field trial. And we test the latest time with the Bendi input-output and the audio communications, and the users mentioned they could approximately synchronize those two during the trial. So one of the key part from compared to the other studies that we did not focus on just testing them in the lab, that we wanted to see how this device can be used in like a public place like a coffee house, because the coffee house is the very general place that a mobile phone uses take place. So we recruited 7 pairs of romantic couples in their 20s, and we deployed for the 3 days, and to find how shape-changing feature can play tactile and visual roles during the phone conversations. So our approach for the analysis was based on the daily interview data and the 3 steps of the affinity diagramming analysis process. That first we kind of made a 50 plus categories based on the affinity diagram, and making them into a small subgroups. And then in the second step, we classified the Bendi specific uses. And lastly, we added one more researcher to recluster and to see the meaningful insights by excluding the transit uses and uses led to the novelty effect. So the findings comprise of the 5 parts, but in this talk, I will talk about our unexpected findings. So maybe you can refer to my paper for the other findings too. The first finding was that people mentioned that they could have a very natural phone conversation in a public coffee house, because all of the participants mentioned that its expression are represented just for a moment and are very short and unnoticeable to others, and they could use Bendi naturally without being bothered by their surroundings. So I think you could understand that even though many people are in the coffee house, that you can do your work very privately, and also users too, they can use the Bendi very privately, even though there are a lot of noise and there are also a lot of people in the coffee house. Yeah. And also, interesting thing was that the roles of shape-changing feature of Bendi played both visually and texturally. So, such as the small contact area on the palm, like rolling, bending up, or the movement speed is fast. The user tend to recognize the movement visually. However, on the other end, other parts they felt more like texturally. So for 3 days, I know it's a very short period of time, but they developed different kind of vocabularies by using this device. So, for example, 3 couples have developed hi or bye or no yes with the different kind of shape-changing movements. And however, couple 5 or 6 kind of developed very weird vocabulary, such as keep my butt with a rolling up movement, or surprise attack by fast top to bottom roll change. And also, this finding was very interesting because they shared each other's presence by expressing and feeling unconscious behaviors, such as patting the other party on the hand when they meet in the face-to-face communications, and doodling something or touching on the wall. So one of the couple mentioned that it seems like the desire to touch on the wall or scribble something during normal calls is replaced when using Bendi. And also, female at couple 3 mentioned that intimate couples touch each other's hands often while talking. It felt like that. So we could find some implication for the future design of Bendi, that it is very important that to have the integrated use of tactile and visual expressions, and they really liked it. So they have mentioned how about different kind of shapes, colors, sizes, and textures, and also making this rectangle shape with the square pants character. So also people mentioned that how about not just sitting down in a coffee house, they wanted to use while they are on the bed or lying face down, or so to have a more casual emotional calls. That one of the men in the couple 2 mentioned that our eyes always become tired after 30 minutes of use of video call, and I often feel bored. However, I expected that the Bendi will not cause these issues and will have many merits. If this can be used while rolling in the bed or playing, I would definitely use it more than video calls. Also, at the last day of the user study, I let them users to freely use in their own positions, that they put the device on the upper part of the hand or between the hands, and we could see the possibilities to be used in the different postures when they're using in the different kind of a context. So also comparison with the video calls, that couple 6 men mentioned that video calls just have the visual features, but this feels more special despite not being able to see a face. It is something like that. Here I've never experienced it. It is like watching the same thing at the same time. So we could see those kind of possibilities based on user studies in the future in the coffee house. So to conclude, one of the important contribution of this paper is that we designed the final product called Bendi with several kind of careful iterative prototypings. And compared to other studies, it is very feasible solutions, and the battery can last for a day by connecting with current smartphones, and also using the current conventional mobile phones battery. And also, we test them in the field. In the coffee house, that we revealed that they had a very natural communications, even though people are in the nearby, and by using those findings, that we could make a very useful guide and insight for the future designs. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Hiroshi from MIT Media Lab. It's really beautiful design work, and convinced about the future of shape changing. One question is, you are making change of shape of the physical materials.
Yes.
And one of the power of the physical materials, also the I/O coincidence. If you really make not just display but also sensor, You refer about 20 years old InTouch. InTouch, we strictly stick to the I/O coincidence. But here, as far as I understand, you have to use a separated input controller to make a shape. But I think it's a tremendous opportunity to let people directly grab feel, so that you have a much more precise I/O coincidence controls. So what do you think about the future of tangibility for I/O coincidence of shape display?
Yeah, like in my previous studies, that I really focused on making the I/O coincidence.
Yeah.
However, in this like prototype, like for example, users have to hold the device on the left hand and to the right hand to express the like direct input gestures if it is I/O coincidence. So we thought this is a little bit weird kind of interactions that users cannot input those shape changing movement with one hand. So we thought about those a lot of times but by using those metaphor that some like a thread is connected to the upper part and the bottom part, and this can be used as those kind of using those metaphor, and we kind of apply this joystick as input. So
yeah. I understand the constraints, but
Yeah.
I suggest you don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Smartphone, not necessarily to have to be in a shape
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Roel Vertigal, Queen's University, excellent work.
Thank you.
I have a technical question. So there's a bit of a trade-off in using springs with these devices because you need more power in the. Are you using Flexinol?
It's not a it's kind of flexible, but it's not a flat. It's a coil type.
It's a coil type.
Yeah,
So what can you discuss a little bit about the trade-offs between, for example, using two opposing wires of Flexinol versus using a spring-based approach
Yeah,
and having to overcome those forces?
Yeah, we have tested the Flexinol, but it is not that strong.
That's the problem.
The spring type is more strong, and also it can be like generated with we use the 3.7 voltage battery, so it can be run with the small like conventional battery. So that's why we use the shape memory alloy, the coil type, and also we put it like a general springs that can be used in like ballpoint pens. It was used for like recovery power. That generally the shape memory alloys have to be recovered with the cold like wind. So so that's why.
But do you find that the shape memory alloys have difficulty overcoming the spring power?
We did not like exactly like did the like engineering things of that, but it kind of overcome the limitations.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm Ken from City University of Hong Kong.
Hi.
I also have a question about shape memory alloy.
Yes.
Because it generates heats, will it overheat the rubber or it doesn't happen?
Yeah. That's why we chose the rubber, because if you chose the like plastic, it will melt. But rubber does not melt.
Okay.
So in many kind of soft robotics researches, they use the rubber material because it does not melt by the heat. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we really want to test that because, like, for example, users are holding the device on the pocket. Because we usually put the mobile phones in the pocket, if the device on it is pocket, users have to feel only the tactile things. We want to test it, but we focused on the Coffeehouse context, so maybe in the future, maybe we can do like a different context.